Hello, in this video, I'd like to quickly talk about these three Amouage essences samples. This is actually the Act 1. So we have, Reasons, Luster, and Outlands. I also have the Act 2 with stuff like Line 618 and Sequence and others. There's one more that I'm missing. So I won't be describing these to details, like I didn't spend a lot of time with them and trying to identify every note and to give you the perfect analysis, because I mainly smell perfumes to see if I like them. And if I'm pretty instinctual with my perfume tastes. Like I immediately know if something I would like something or if I won't like it. So I've tried these like once or maybe twice and gave a look a bit at the ingredients, but I didn't, I won't be able to give you a complete analysis. I want to start with Outlands, if I'm able to find it. I'm not wearing glasses, so here's Outlands. So Outlands, as you probably may already have seen people talk about this fragrance, is pretty strong. It's a blast in your face. So I have it on skin, and like if you smell it from the atomizer, you get this very creamy, like first of all of these have a creamy aspect. I would say, especially Luster. I'll talk about that when I'll talk about Luster. That is actually the one I like the most. I don't think these are for me like full bottle worthy, especially given the price and like the availability of these perfumes. But the one I wanted to actually try was Oud Zuhal, but it's like impossible to find, and there aren't samples that you can get in the in these boxes. There are only 6 of these. So they all share this vaguely creaminess, all of these samples, some more, some less. Maybe, I don't know if it's like the sandalwood or whatever it is. I know that these like were prepared, in a different way, like infusing infusing them with sandalwood or like submerging them in sandalwood. I have no idea how they made it, but you get the point. So they all have this creaminess. Outlands in particular, like if you smell it from the atomizer, it feels more creamy. It's sweet, creamy, and slightly lemony. And there's this slightly citrusy, specifically lemon edge to it. If you spray it on skin, actually, you get initially this very strong lemon aspect, possibly the frankincense, possibly the lemon itself. At least Fragrantica lists both of them as a note. There is always something ever so slightly creamy and sweet in the background that comes out as you wear it more and more. I don't know if it's like the vanilla, if it's the what else was it? There's vanilla, there is amber in the base. I don't know if like the sandalwood also happened with this. It has also a big spicy texture to it, but don't think of like pepper or like some culinary spice. And I'm also not able to identify them. Like if I read the notes, and there's like cardamom, there is coriander and other stuff, but yeah, it has this vague spiciness. But I think for me, if I had to use a single word to describe it, or like a few words, it is like this vaguely sweet, slightly creamy thing that's like initially very lemony, and then I think it still retains a lemon aspect, but it has less of that zinginess that it has in the opening. It becomes less so, more subdued, more a calmer, let's say, lemony, citrusy note. The one I enjoyed the most was actually, where is it? Was actually Luster. And the one I liked the least from these was Reasons. Reasons, I have it on my right arm. It's completely weird. I don't know how to explain Reasons. Like, I don't know if it's a Palo Santo wood in this. I've never smelled this, so maybe that's why I'm having a hard time with this fragrance, because it smells not like a perfume. Sorry, let me rephrase this. It has always that sort of like vague creaminess, woodiness, but it smells like, I don't know, like a cucumber, like a funky cucumber. Like if it smells like something you could eat, like a vegetable. But it's mixed with something else that makes it unpleasant. I had a similar thing with what was it? Not for the same smell, but like how it made me feel with I would say I think it was Loot by Andy Tower, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it, I think, Patchouli Absolute, maybe, I think it was, no, it was Patchouli Absolute. It had this vague, in that case was this vague alcoholic note. It felt green, it felt weird, almost like, not nauseating, but like, it was, yeah, pretty weird. This has a similar thing to me. As you wear it, there is this vaguely piney note that also comes out. And in the background, there's always that sort of vague creaminess, slightly sweet, maybe, warm wood. But it's like it comes off as something vaguely creamy and slightly sweet. Not for me. So these were Outlands and Reason. The one I like the most is Luster. Luster is, so Luster, it has this, how does it come off? It's this creamy, powdery, slightly sweet, not too much type of smell. And like in Outlands, for example, that creaminess I think is a bit ruined by for me at least, by the citruses in the opening, especially the lemon. I don't like citruses in general, especially lemon, and even more so if it remains. It's like if this lemon is trapped on this like sticky, creamy, ever so slightly sweet thing. Luster feels, I would say, a bit more airy, like less. It has always this like more than creamy, I would say, buttery. It's a more buttery. It's like this buttery, vaguely creamy, powdery, ever so slightly sweet, but maybe the sweetness is coming from the wood itself, or I don't know if there's amber here or whatever it is. The problem with Luster is that it is maybe a bit, I see how people could see it as being boring. It is pretty much the same smell through and through without any changes. It is nice. I wouldn't say it's, I don't want to spray this because I like to smell these, I like to sell these samples, and Luster is the one I've tried. I've already sprayed this a couple of times and it doesn't have like a big dent, but definitely bigger than the other ones. But I remember how this smells. So this vaguely creamy, powdery, buttery, ever so slightly sweet thing that goes on like endlessly. It's like always like this. It's not bad, but at the same time, it's maybe, I don't know, too much, too much buttery, a bit too sweet. Like I prefer probably something like Reflection if I had to choose, even though maybe I don't like the sort of piney aspect that the juniper berries, I think, that Jubilation 45 has. But at least Jubilation feels, less sweet. It is less cloying. It's a bit more, it has a bit more breathing room, a bit more air passing through it. And all of these actually, I think the problem with these ones, the problem is that they all feel, I think, a bit too much, like too cloying, too creamy, too sweet for me, and difficult to wear. Maybe every once in a while, like if you want to smell them, they're not, they're okay. They're not bad. They aren't bad fragrances. They're not bad smells. They feel, good quality, and they smell decent. But as I said, they all share this like creaminess, vaguely like always like strong sweetness. That for me is a bit too much, of a sweetness. Too much sweet, I would say. And yeah, that's why I don't think I will ever buy these. And I think I will make another video about the Act 2, even though I don't have much to say about the Act 2. I mean, like, what was a sequence that people say it's like the moon, similar to the moon by Frederick Mall. It's complete nonsense. It's like this vaguely raspberry cherry smell with this leather that almost like reminded me a bit of the leather like in stuff like Terroni or Quayum. Like it has this almost like salty food-like aspect to it, but it's not very strong. Like the first time I sprayed it, it was definitely the thing I smelled the most. Second time I tried it, I got more of this like cherry or dark raspberry type of smell, a bit more fruity and sweet. But it has that vaguely like salty food aspect to it. Like Terroni for me smells like a, what would you call it? Like a smoky, not salmon, but like this smoky meat that's salted. Like, it has this very weird, at least that's how it comes across to me in my skin. And then there was like line 618. There's like this pineapple-y, there's a bit of coconut, this fresh coconut smell. Those were the two main notes I got. And then there was one more that I'm missing, and that is Remain. I just checked. I don't have a lot to say. I don't remember Remain actually. I have no idea how Remain smells. And my nose is completely bombarded with Outlands at the moment, so I'm not able to identify it, but yeah, so that was it. And let me know if you've tried these, especially if you tried Oud Zuhal. I'm pretty interested in it. I've seen people a bit maybe describe it as like the oud and silver oud, so very smoky. And if it's like that, I probably won't like it because I don't like silver oud that much. But I think silver oud also has birch. That's the problem I have with silver oud, because it has this weird sweetness that's coming from somewhere, and that also mixes with the castoreum. I don't like castoreum that much, and I always get this vaguely, it feels like this vaguely powdery, smoky, this white grayish smoke. It's also a bit sweet, but it's like a woody sweetness. It's not very strong. And then there's the castoreum. I mean, if I prepare myself to it, I can, I don't know if I would say enjoy it, but at least tolerate it. But like the one I like the most of like the oud fragrances by Amouage is definitely, I would say, King Blue. And I think Oud Zuhal, I won't like Oud Zuhal that much based on what I've seen people say, but I'm curious. Bye bye.